Netflix has officially confirmed that Season 5 will be the last one, which is unfortunate news. After the unexpected conclusion to the 4th season, which altered the course of the program, we most definitely needed a 5th season. Season 4 was released by Netflix in 2 parts. The first gave viewers a more typical whodunit narrative and portrayed Joe Goldberg in a redeeming light, while the second gave an incredible turn that permanently altered our protagonist, the serial killer. What does this, however, signify for the show's future and for the unstoppable whispers of Joe Goldberg? This is all the information we currently know about Season 5. Season 5 potential release date. When can we expect Season 5? As previously stated, Netflix has formally announced that Joe and his monotonous narration will return for the show's 5th and final season. However, a release date has not yet been set. Joe's impending swan song was revealed by Netflix in a tweet following the 4th season, which stated, "Joe Goldberg will return for the 5th and final season of You in 2024. The Hollywood Reporter was recently informed by showrunner Sarah Gamble that there was still hope for the program, stating, "We have an idea for Season 5 that we're excited about." Gamble did, however, also stress out that if the plot felt resolved, they wouldn't continue. Nobody ever intended to run this one into the ground, she stated to the newspaper. "We'll stop when we're through. We'll also package it." Even from the initial discussions with Penn, the goal was to feel as though we had told the whole story, not to continuously release new episodes. Although I think our tones are considerably different, we're not attempting to portray Joe as a straight-faced hero in any way. This show follows the pattern of single-lead dramas with a guy who performs progressively worse things. The lovely thing about it is that the show ends when his arc is over. We are aware that the show will air the next year, but when can we anticipate its arrival? Given that the first installment of You was released in February 2023 and the 4th season was confirmed in October 2021, with filming starting in March 2022, it is possible that the 4th season will air in the summer of 2024. But it's possible that Netflix won't release any new episodes until late in 2024. The release schedule was probably impacted by the recently concluded SAG-AFTRA strike against the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which is a union that represents major studios and streaming services. Though it's unknown if any of the 5th season scripts were finished before the writers' strike, that issue has also been resolved, allowing work on the final season to proceed. Season 5 plot. What can we expect from Season 5? The plot of Season 4 was largely self-contained and came to a satisfying end. Every character has a known fate, and there aren't many remaining narrative points to pick at. Regarding Joe Goldberg, the implication is that he has now confronted and accepted his worst sides. Furthermore, he can now further his own privilege and keep shielding himself from any repercussions by using the wealth and influence that his girlfriend Kate possesses. By the end of Season 4, the Joe Goldberg we see feels untouchable, having a whole PR staff at his disposal to assist him clean up any mistakes he might make. Moreover, he has discovered a mate who acknowledges and is prepared to ignore his worst qualities. But unlike Joe's ex-wife Love Quinn, Kate appears committed to making an effort to be a decent person. The 4th season finale of You set the stage for a more sinister Joe heading into the 5th, one who is sick of trying to use monologues to rationalize his heinous deeds. We'll have to wait and see how that fits into his new glamorous life with Kate. It's also impossible to ignore the reality that, as Joe himself admits, everyone he loves ultimately dies, so things aren't exactly looking good for Kate. Additionally, Gamble disclosed to The Hollywood Reporter that Joe will likely face some sort of repercussion, and that this is how you should, in theory, come to an end. The topic of discussion among the writers, myself, and as well as Penn frequently revolves around the idea that Penn's arc ought to conclude with a bit of justice. Men such as them seldom encounter justice in this world. It's hard to plot that. In a world where he's been branding people in broad daylight for years, how does Joe Goldberg go down? And he's adorable, and he escapes punishment for it. In the writer's room, we often pose the more profound query, what is real justice? What would cause him the greatest harm? We have spent 4 seasons constructing these characters who are violently wealthy, but not all of them are that smart or that ruthless, Gamble stated to News. If Joe is what he claims to be and now enjoys unrestricted access to riches, he has transformed into the object of his distant envy and criticism. It opens up a ton of new possibilities for us. All of the horrible things that extremely affluent and privileged people get away with are on my mind. These are the exact talks we'll be having if we get to enter the writer's room and plan out another season. So we would expect a downfall to occur at some point in the last season of the show, unless justice is defined as sitting in a comfortable business chair with the owner of a billion-pound corporation. And Badgley is in search of a response to the query, what is justice? If it's not answering that question, because it is a tough one, maybe it's figuring out an even more refined or elegant way to pose the question. Badgley stated to NME. We have the chance to accomplish that, and the writers of the show, in my opinion, have been setting it up to do so the entire time. I believe that is the finale that they have proposed to me. Greg Berlanti's suggestion for how it might conclude is one of the reasons I'm even able to say this. I am unable to reveal what it is to you. And who could serve up a delicious, hot plate of justice better than those Joe has wronged, and by mistreated, we mean abducted, killed, placed behind bars, or all of the above. Although Amy Lee Hickman's Nadia is currently incarcerated due to Joe's offenses, she still has optimism that she will return. She said, "I would love to come back and play her again." To Digital Spy, "There shouldn't be anything she can't do, in my opinion, if she can accomplish what she did in Season 4. I wouldn't let anything stop her, and I wouldn't let Joe stop me either. It seems to me that they share that peculiar characteristic." Even though Marion managed to get away from Joe's deadly grasp and reunited with her daughter Juliette in Paris, Tati Gabrielle still longs to return. She said, "I would love to come back again." She still doesn't seem to have received her fair share, and I do believe that she deserves it. She's had a hard life, Guy. All she needs is a vacation. I hope Marion gets to see more. I just want her to be present if she isn't involved in stopping Joe. Ultimately, Nadia will require support if she intends to leave prison, and Marion is the only other one who is aware of the true events that occurred. You Season 5 trailer. Any You Season 5 footage yet? During their TUDUM event in Brazil earlier this year, Netflix unveiled the first trailer for the upcoming season of You. The link to it is in the description below. The teaser suggested that a lot of characters might come back for the popular thriller's climactic episode, in which Joe and his fiancée Kate will make a fateful trip back to New York. We all know there are many loose ends from Joe's past. The question is, who are you? In the filmed clip, the actor poses the question. A clever montage reveals every important character the killer left behind. Even his own infant son Henry, who was given to his neighbors to look after right before he went to Europe. There's more, though. The protagonist has numerous reasons to be afraid that the truth about him may come to light, including power couple Sherry and Carrie, fan favorite Lady Phoebe, Beck's therapist Dr. Nikki, and Joe's protege Paco. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.